Let's just like loop all these people together just because there's only so much we can talk about. So Joe Budden he's taking shots at a couple people and that he's just not happy with. Let's just start with Logic and then we'll transition over to 𝙗𝐶𝐸𝐺 and Aiden Ross. But the whole Logic thing, I don't know how much we could talk about it just because I agree with everything that he said. I can't fucking stand Logic. So like I literally don't like Logic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you immediately agree with all criticism towards him.
Not all of it, but it's like the shit that he does, it's like everything. It's like he literally uses his dad to pimp out his black struggle, bro.
Yeah, nah, that shit was crazy.
It's like disgusting to watch, bro.
Yeah, it's
like
nasty, bro.
And it's always been like that. And it's just like, but then Logic will he'll do like this victimhood thing too, because when he was on the Breakfast Club, it's like he's talking about things that have happened to his sister, alludes to like grape or whatever, and then Charlamagne asks him one additional question, and now all of a sudden he hates Charlamagne for the rest of his life because he was like, he asked me about who did something to my sister, but it's like, nigga, you keep talking about it. You literally have brought this up like 4 times in this interview. Do you want me to just not? Do you want me to ask about it? It's like, don't play victim after you keep throwing this shit in my face.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
it's a little touchy, but for context with that,
like, come on, nigga, like you can't do that.
You can't do, if somebody keeps bringing something up in an interview and then you just ask if you just ask a question about it, don't stop why would you keep bringing it up if you don't want me to ask about it?
And I think he alluded that it was one of his family members.
If you brought it up 4 times. And then
but it has nothing to do.
I didn't just come out the blue and ask you that. That's crazy.
But that is an out of the blue question.
Not if you keep bringing it up.
Not in context.
Not if you keep bringing it up and talking about it.
I can see that.
That's not a question you ask.
You don't know. It's not a good question to
ask. Can we agree?
But if
the context is, I think he alluded.
They're having a conversation about it.
But I think he alluded to the fact that it might have been somebody in his family.
Right.
So
and
it's like, you kind of dance around who this person is, and then you ask the question. But without that happening, it is kind of weird to just be like, who did
if it comes out of nowhere. But I remember it came up and it made complete logical sense how we got here. It wasn't oh, well, who did that to your sister? It wasn't that, because then it would have been like, no, but he wanted to play victim during then. Long story short, that's why I was bringing that up.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, yeah, bro, it's like Logic just like pops out with his dad, and just anytime he wants to say nigga, then he had that moment where he was like in the hallway. And he's like, Dad, you know they say I can't say nigga all the time. I don't know, bro. I don't fuck with Logic, bro.
His dad looks pretty white from afar, too. If you squint at that nigga, he could be anybody.
Really?
You can feel that profile. His dad light skin.
In that interview, he is pretty light
skin. Could definitely be.
They look about the same skin tone.
Could definitely be Rosa Parks' father or uncle or something.
Really? I thought his dad was brown skin.
No, I had the same disdain for Logic, though. I feel like he tried to. I think he pimped his mom out in this interview, too. By trying to appeal to the black struggle.
Apparently, this is only 4 episodes in, and this is what he's doing. This nigga's black.
He is, but he's very like. If you squint at him, that could be an old white dude that's a Steelers fan. Literally.
First of all, why does Logic look so bad right now? Like he looks like he's been beat. Like he looks like
he hasn't had no sleep.
He's
been going through a lot.
He's crying in the scene.
Oh yeah, that probably does add.
I cried with my dad and confronted our trauma.
That was intentional.
And first of all, let's not act like
he needs to hook up with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Nah, she might ruin his natural born life.
They might be perfect for each other.
Nah, I don't know what that combination would do to the world.
Me neither, but I would love to see it.
His father is a crackhead.
Reformed.
I think he's reformed.
Yeah.
He still has the mannerism.
Don't you always have crack in you?
Nah, it's not like LSD.
I don't think so.
It doesn't just sit in your spinal cord.
Yeah.
That's only certain drugs.
That's crazy. Don't you always have crack in you?
Yeah, nah.
LSD.
And is that LSD or
it's with psychedelics.
You're talking about Sherm?
It's with psychedelics. I think Sherm too. I don't know.
No, PCP, nigga.
Nah, but it happens with LSD too. Okay. We can get trapped in you.
Yeah, and then like throughout random times of your life,
you just have a little moment of hallucination.
It could just come out of your spine a little bit.
It's crazy. What a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's watch what Joe said about him. Let's watch. That's definitely a Chig's video too. I don't like Logic, so
he makes it easy.
He got bars, allegedly.
No,
it's all right. His music's straight.
I'm about to say, yeah, you can't hate the music, nigga.
I don't like it. I don't love it.
I don't love it either. But
I'm definitely playing Rust before I play fucking.
First of all,
Logic.
AJ don't need much to hate it. To hate anything.
Nope.
Yeah, that is probably crazy. I'm probably playing Rust before Logic.
Way before.
Yeah, nah. I don't even listen to Logic on accident. I just leave the room.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually played. I think I played his album one time actually. I'm lying.
I've never listened.
That's
to
because you're a black white dude.
How far would you be willing to go for some content? Nowadays, everybody has a podcast, from athletes to rappers, entertainers, actors, comedians. Everybody wants to sit in front of the mic and talk for hours. Now, if you guys don't know, rapper Logic has a podcast. His podcast is called Logically Speaking, and on the 4th episode, Logic decided to do something very interesting. He did a podcast episode with his dad. He does not have the best of relationships with his dad. So what better way to hash out your issues, childhood trauma, and private family conversation than to do it on your podcast in front of thousands of people? The podcast episode is titled, I Cried with My Dad and Confronted Our Trauma. Now, this was a very controversial episode. I'm sure this was what Logic wanted. A lot of people feel like this conversation should have happened in private. We, the public, do not need to know this much in depth about your family issues. Now, Joe Budden, who hates Logic's guts, from day one, Joe has made it clear that his hate for Logic would never go away. He feels like Logic has a huge identity crisis. With him being biracial, he's not comfortable with himself. So for that, anytime Logic's name comes up in the news or anything Logic does, Joe always criticizes it. So you guys already knew with this Logic interview with his dad, Joe was definitely gonna have a field day with this one. Here's what Joe Budden had to say about Logic's interview with his dad.
He's exploiting his dad.
Oh, okay.
And embarrassing his dad. And hating his dad. Logic sat down and interviewed with his dad. I hate Logic.
Well, we know that.
I absolutely hate Logic. But I wasn't trying to let my hate for Logic come in here and make me not try to be objective with this interview. As a dude, as a man with a dad that I love.
Me too.
I can't watch somebody speak to their dad in the manner that Logic spoke to his.
For real.
And
I talk down to him? Like it was that bad?
That's what it sounded like. I didn't even know who it was. That was what made me think.
So he was talking down
at him. When I heard it. He spoke down as far. I wouldn't speak to my dad like that in real life, and I would never fix my lips on camera.
On a public forum.
Even if it was valid, even if it's true.
Not on, you don't do that.
You don't do that on camera. That nigga spoke to his father like
he was some dude.
Yo, yeah. Like you ain't been there. Like every time you pop up, you asking for some shit. And keep it real, Pop. Like tell him why I ain't been giving you shit. None of y'all know what to do with shit.
Is his dad named Smokey Hall?
Yeah,
that's a legendary crackhead name. You gotta earn that type of shit.
Yeah, because I don't think his dad's on drugs currently, right?
No, but he was on crack.
But he was talking to him like he was high in that moment. Like,
yeah.
He was talking crazy to his dad.
Yeah, because who knows how much trauma his dad has caused him. Like, nigga, your father's on crack, and your mother is calling you the hard R, which is a whole another story.
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
That's on Logically Speaking.
But I don't believe that shit happened. I think this is all bullshit.
You don't believe that.
Yeah,
nigga telling you
that.
The nigga telling you his mother called him the hard R, and
Why
you don't
would
believe
she
it.
say that? He don't even look like it.
I think it's a generational thing though, because like we are some of the last AJ in that generation where it's like the regard for your parents were high. Like fucking kids and people they don't give a fuck about that shit.
Y'all be talking crazy to your parents?
I wouldn't say I talk crazy to my mom, but I definitely had a spirit of like, I'm not going for that shit.
Nah,
to a certain degree.
I'd say it's pretty regular.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing, it's like too crazy.
Do you curse in front of your parents?
Currently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Lightly.
Nah.
Yeah, mine is very light.
Only time
like nobody's a bitch, but I'll be like, damn, or nigga. I've been saying niggas since I was 16. That's different. That's not even a curse word.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't even let those off though.
Yeah, very rarely. I could probably remember the last time I cursed in front of my mom, and it was when that bitch stole our tags, and I called her a bitch.
Oh,
we gonna get that bitch.
Yeah, I probably let one curse word off an hour around my mom.
But do your parents curse around you?
Nope. My mom doesn't really curse.
Okay, see, now it's
neither
different.
does my dad either.
My mom
so
curses like me.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't. That's different then.
See, and my mom.
Your mom cursed like a nigga.
My dad don't curse at all. But my mom curses.
She raised a nigga.
Yeah, she curses with me, but not a lot. But we joke when we're cursing. Like we'll joke about somebody else or a movie or something. Yeah, and it's tied to it.
It's not just casual conversation.
It ain't casual
and the cussing is more like a shit. Like it's words like that, not like a fuck. Like, like all the.
It ain't never like it's never directed at them in conversation I'm having with them. Like this nigga Logic was doing. Like this shit was fucked up, Dad. Like I would never even say it in that way, even if it was fucked up. Like
but you've never.
I'd be like,
even if it was really fucked up.
Yeah, I would be like, this is the problem I have with what's going on, Pops.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But you gotta understand, the woman that he married was calling him the hard R while he was on crack. That was his life, allegedly.
I feel it.
So it's like how he's talking to him is pretty fucking deserved. Like nigga, you was on crack.
You know what it is too.
And I get your point though.
When he was talking about like him asking for money, allegedly the nigga had asked him for like $850,000. We talked about on LOY the show, and so the nigga was like, 850, what the fuck? Like nigga, we can make a album and I could give you some publishing. So that's what they ended up doing, and I think this is a part of their agreement of like, all right, I'm not gonna give you money, but we can do things together. And this might be like, all right, you want my money? Like I'm gonna tell the world you're a piece of shit. I'm gonna cry in front of the world with you.
That's fucked up.
That's the thing.
That's the thing too. It's just like there's a couple things, man. It's just like anytime we see Logic dealing with any black anything,
it's his father.
He's using his dad to just like
he's black.
Yeah, but it's like he needs his dad there.
You want to know what's crazy? You want to know what's crazy? If Logic was actually like his pigment was black, we would call him a pussy. We would call him soft in hip hop.
If he was still doing this,
if he was like actual black skin tone,
what are people calling him now?
He's a bitch now.
Nah, he's not.
He used a hard beat. He said that, he wouldn't even say that around his mom. He used it on Logic.
Yeah,
niggas really. What that mean? But niggas really wouldn't. But nah, man, I don't think. Nah, man, I think this is well deserved. And
I think Logic's a fucking clown, bro.
Yeah, I think it'd be better off for him if he was of a darker pigment.
I don't think any of that will help. That's another thing too, bro. Some of these niggas, when they're healing, we don't want to see you healing in public, bro. Especially because it's like,
So don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
That is fair though.
He's going viral
that is
like
fair.
a motherfucker.
We do have the choice to not watch it.
I know. I mean,
that's always
it ended up on my timeline. Just like I didn't want to see his Ice Cube's "Today's a Good Day." The shit ended up on my timeline.
But like, this. I mean, look, man, it's a tricky thing, right? Because
I'm not going to the YouTube. Like, I literally am not watching his podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just everywhere.
You don't even want to support it.
Yeah, it's just everywhere. It's like you can't avoid clips. Like, I'm not deep diving. I don't give a fuck about his trauma. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I can understand everybody's been through something, but if you want to do fucking like shitting on people rituals, and it'd be one thing if. It'd be one thing if like this was a consistent thing, but you only do it. It's just like some.
I guess I also want to hear the stories that it directly like from the crack stuff. Like, what did his pops do after? Like, how was the interaction?
I think his pops was just absent on crack.
Just absent on crack.
So his life was just hell because he was absent on crack.
Because he didn't have his pops around.
Pretty much, he wasn't.
But
there.
that's better than having a crackhead dad.
That was like active.
That's
active.
Like on active in your life, fucking you up.
Yeah, I don't think it was that. It was his absentness was because of the crack. Yeah.
How long do you go before you remove like the pain and the like? If you're trying to mend a relationship with your pops, how long does it take for you to like mend it?
It depends on what's done.
I don't want to see that shit in public.
And that's another thing. You got to do that shit privately, and then like come and reflect on that shit later once you figured it out.
But just I think all of that did happen, but this is how much Logic is hurting.
But this seems like this conversation should have happened before. The way he talks about
it feels like it's the first time.
So this is literally the first time.
On one of the first time.
It's like, why bring this now in front of everybody for the very first time if I'm just really trying to have a hash it out with my pops? I mean, I guess that would. Yeah,
you get your own point. It goes both ways. Like it's all within the perspective, right? And a big part to what you said, he does need to like actually sit down and like, all right, nigga, we need to hear like some lone, cold, nice, like, you know, saying you didn't have no heat or something, like you was hungry, starving, but.
He's scratching for credibility. That's all this is.
You know what else it is
too?
Like. It's like, you know what else it is too, bro? It's like Logic, I have a problem with all these niggas. These therapy healing niggas, they be having the worst fucking demons, bro. This obviously sounds like they need a third party that's an actual licensed practitioner, like
therapist.
Yeah, like you out here just issuing up your own version of therapy, which is you shitting on your dad in the public eye, like you know. What I'm saying?
Don't even talk like he's therapized. Like you know how they get an updated vernacular.
And let's be honest, his father didn't even seem like he felt disrespected. He was actually listening. His father was like,
I don't think he gave a fuck.
Yeah, I don't think
because he's like, I'm getting this money at the end of this conversation.
I think at the end of the day, it was worth it. All the fun he had smoking that crack, not raising this nigga.
Yeah, man, I had a millionaire son. I'm still up, bro. Like,
look where he's at. He's in full Pittsburgh attire. He probably had season tickets
with an fitted, like a crackhead.
Man, nah.
I bet if Logic heard you like disrespecting his father, he probably wouldn't care.
Oh no,
he disrespected him for an hour and 10 minutes.
But honestly, I mean, I don't know. I need to sit down and watch the full thing. I've only watched a couple clips. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, you got to watch this.
Nigga said he knows
you
exactly
might heal
what
some
he's not
things
doing.
from your family that you didn't even know was supposed to be healed.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. Nah, this isn't gonna help you get closer to your crackhead father. I think these niggas
My
aren't
dad's
even
not a
close
crackhead
enough.
either, so I can't even relate to this story.
So why you hating on it?
Because it's fucked up to watch. This is objectively fucked up to do this to do to your parent in public.
Yeah, this is exploitive behavior. That man was sick.
Yeah. And you love to rope the black community into your fucking exploitive behavior every time your dad's on screen.
Okay, well, my nigga, I don't want to get in this conversation, but like we could bring up more. We could bring up a couple like different white niggas who's like exploiting niggas, but completely different.
Am I supposed to be okay with that?
Logic. How is Logic exploiting?
Bad.
What does Logic gain from telling the world that his father was a crackhead?
Publicity.
Credibility.
Yeah.
He's
Sympathy.
white. He's white skinned. It's not much he has to do for publicity and rap. All he has to do is show the cover art. White people go, oh, wow, Logic's dropping an album. He's white, and they're gonna buy it.
Not for black people.
That's literally all his fan base does.
Not for black people to
So
care.
Black
he's
acceptance.
not gaining anything but social awareness for crackhead fathers around the world.
First of all, when's the last time that we've had any discussion to any degree about Logic? I don't even know. It's probably been years. It wasn't until he exploded his crackhead father.
I think Logic was the first to sign a big Twitch deal, and I thought we never were gonna have to deal with him again. And now this nigga just popping up again on our nerves.
You hear the word, the way he worded it, it sounds like he's allergic to him.
Yeah,
but
bro.
that's what it is, though.
Yeah, bro. It's like
I thought we was never going to have to worry about this shit again.
Bro, I remember he was like the first person to sign a big Twitch deal. This was years ago, and it was like a huge deal.
Yeah.
And niggas, it was like early to where niggas was like, what the fuck is Twitch?
He said he retired too around that time.
Yeah, he said he retired from music too. So I was like, oh, we'll never have to deal with him again. Then he started popping up again, and he was in some fucking random alleyway with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dad, they said I can't say nigga, but you black, so you know how I do all the time, nigga. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening right now?
And you know what's fucked up?
Yeah.
They was in the alleyway. His dad was probably smoking crack.
It was some
He
weird
knocked the pipe out his hands real quick just to get a little
It's
sound
like he
bite.
calls his dad like, I want to say nigga real quick. Come over to my house. Like, fucking weirdo.
Yeah, nah, that's strange.
I don't like Logic.
It's very strange. And I don't know, I feel like just based off the way this is looking right here, it looked like his dad smacked the shit out of him after this podcast, and it would be reasonable. Because you don't do that.
Man.
You don't do that to your parents. This nigga raised you.
I don't think he raised him, actually.
Nah, I'm
Not raised, but
high and sleep deprived, but I don't know. His father was on crack. It's like I think you should be able to shit on your crackhead fathers. I don't know.
potentially.
If you want to.
Yeah.
If you want to. You know what I'm saying?
And then we get the shit on him.
Exactly. It's the fucking nature.
If I fuck around and get rich as fuck, I'm about to just like start hanging out with Logic's dad, bro.
Use that
Mama
nigga
was
like
buying
how
some crack.
whatchamacallit using Crip Mac. Yeah.
Yep.
Take that nigga on.
Just piss
Just go
Logic.
to random activities.
Just piss Logic the fuck off.
Yeah, yeah.
We gonna go to baseball games, do all the shit Logic.
Yeah.
Do all the shit Logic wish his dad did with him.
Literally.
That's crazy.
Agent gonna get pushed on the swing.
Yep.
And he's gonna be happy because he has a black son. Finally, I gotta.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. I mean, we were gonna transition into Joe taking shots at Kai and should we talk about that or just go into office hours?
We'll
just keep it all in here.
You can't. I think yeah. Did we hit the bell?
Yeah.